Hello guys and happy Tuesday. So in today's video, I'm sure you guys already know, but we are going to be taking a look at my stock portfolio. So if you are new to my channel, hello, my name is Verenia and I talk about things to do with money, your career and having a positive mindset for success. So if you do like the sound of that, then please do subscribe to my channel and hit that bell notification below just so you don't miss out on any new videos. So we're going to get started. I am going to record my screen because most of you guys will know that I do use Trading 212 and the app is of course on my phone, but please do remember that I am not a financial advisor at all. Guys, please make sure you are doing your own research. Don't just blindly invest in what I'm investing in because it might not be right for you. So yeah, do your due diligence and let's just get started. So here is basically my portfolio. So currently I have about £1,432.73 and I have currently invested about £1,349.55 and I've had a return of about £83, so just over 6% return. Now when I did do my previous video, not my previous video but one of my previous videos talking through my net worth and my budget for January 2021, so if you haven't actually watched that, I will link that up here and in the description below. But I had basically said that I had about £1,315 in my portfolio, so you can see there's been a slight difference, and really the main reason for that is because I have had quite a few free shares this month, which I definitely was not expecting. So thank you guys if you have used my link, and if you do want to use Trading 212 as a platform, then you can of course use my affiliate link in the description below and we will both get a free share once your account is verified and funded. So let's head on to the first one. So the first one is Bank of America, and that was actually a free share I got I think in December time, so I have one share of that and it's actually currently up by 10%, which is obviously happy days. I think it was read a few times, but I actually decided to keep that share because I don't know, I thought Bank of America, I assume is okay. Obviously I've done a little bit of research, but because it's a bank compared to maybe somewhere of like the SMP 500 for example, it's slightly different, so I just figured out that it's probably quite okay, and yeah, it's gone up 10%, so I thought I would just leave it there, which is all well and good. The next one, so this is an individual stock that I decided to invest in. Now Coca-Cola was a company that I had my eye on actually for quite a long time, so I had actually done a lot of research behind it before I obviously invested in it, because if you are going to invest in individual stocks, then do make sure you are doing quite a lot of research, especially compared to say ETFs for example. So I had to look at things like what was their company structure like, what was their balance sheet saying, what was their cash flow statement saying, and what about their income statement. So basically really looking at, okay, number one, how much cash do they have cash? Number two, what's their assets to liabilities ratio? So do they have a lot of assets, or do they have a lot of liabilities, or do they have a mix of both? And then other things like, are they actually making a profit consistently, and how much profit are they making, and are they continuing to grow as a company? And then I also looked at their PE ratio, so price to earnings ratio. I don't really want to go into too much detail on that, but I was basically looking at their PE ratio compared to their other competitors. So not just any company basically, but really who are their core competitors and what are their PE ratios, and what does that mean when it comes to the value of that stock. So that's kind of what I did. So it was quite a lot of research, and actually with the Trading 212 app there's actually a lot of information already, so I kind of just used that as guidance, and then obviously used Google because Google was basically my best friend when it came to this. So I did decide to invest in Coca-Cola. So this was my first individual stock that I had actually personally chosen to invest in. Now in terms of my investment, I actually used my free shares to buy Coca-Cola. So I was able to buy about 3 shares of Coca-Cola, so I did, and later on I'm going to talk through the 3 shares that I got that was used to buy Coca-Cola. But for me, I was able to buy a few shares, which was really great, so I did. Now during the time that I did buy Coca-Cola, there were some things going on in the US, which I know most of you guys will know about. So I could see that the stock market was fluctuating a little bit, but with Coca-Cola itself, there were other things that had been going on when I was researching and looking at the news. So they actually went down, especially compared to when I saw other companies as well. I could see them going down quite a bit. So I think I first bought 1 or 2 shares, but then when it started going down again, I actually used it as an opportunity to buy it again. So it is currently down at the moment by about 1%. I'm actually not too fast because I kind of do see there's value there. I mean, if you look here, it's currently down about 6% compared to last year. So I do think there is still room to recover. So that's why I just thought I would take the opportunity. And again, because I looked at the fundamentals and I had done my research, I figured this is probably a good opportunity. So I bought it. So the next couple actually, so I've got one Easyjet and one General Electric. Now, these were two of the free shares that I got. So I actually got a few free shares from Easyjet and General Electric. I have no idea why it was just those two, because every single time I kept getting free shares, it was like Easyjet or General Electric. So this Easyjet share is currently pending because of the time that I got the free share. So the market isn't actually open yet. So I've got that. And then I've also got General Electric as well. So I think I got that just before the market closed. Now, these were the two companies, even though I got free shares, I decided to actually sell most of them. So these ones have literally just come in. I'm probably going to sell them again. Now, the reason why is just because when I got the free share, of course, like obviously you're happy you get a free share, but for me, particularly when I looked at General Electric and I did my research and I was looking at their balance sheets and their cash flow statements and all of that, I wasn't that impressed. So I'm not gonna lie, but again, that's just my personal preference. The same with Easyjet. Obviously airlines have struggled because of what's going on. So for me, I just didn't want to have that in my portfolio. I'm just being honest. So I decided to sell those before, and I'm probably going to sell these two again. But yeah, those are the two free shares that I've had this month, which were happy days. So I have had quite a few. So if you have used my link, thank you guys so much. And I hope that you guys enjoyed your free shares. I assume it's probably the same free share as well, because when I spoke to some of you guys, you had mentioned that you either had Easyjet or General Electric. So definitely let me know what you ended up doing with those shares. Did you decide to sell it and get something else, or did you keep it? Let me know in the comments below. And then the next one is basically a new ETF that I bought. So I bought the iShares Developed Markets ETF. So this was an interesting one, and this is something that I had been looking at as well, because you guys will probably know that I am quite a big fan of property. So I thought, I haven't bought my buy-to-let property yet, so why don't I invest in an ETF to do with property? Now, I had been thinking about whether I want to buy the Developed Markets one or if I wanted to buy the UK property ETF, because there is a UK property one. And for me personally, I prefer the Developed Markets because it's not just the UK. I didn't want to just be so centralized to the UK or so concentrated to the UK. So I decided this one was going to be best for me because it does have a little bit of UK, but it does have US and other countries in Europe, for example. Now, in terms of how the ETF is performing, it is currently down compared to last year. It's down about 16%. But again, I am investing pretty much for the long term, so a good at least 10 years. So I actually wasn't bothered about that. I think it just gave me an opportunity to get in while it's low, and then hopefully it will recover over time. So yeah, I decided to use that as an opportunity, and I bought about 10 shares. Although it is slightly down, it's about 0.31% down, but again, I'm investing for the long term, so I'm not really bothered, if that makes sense. So yeah. And then the next one is the SMP Information Technology ETF. So I've got about 2 shares in that, and this is something that I had in my previous stock portfolio video, so you can see it's currently up 11%. I decided not to actually put more money into that ETF because I kind of felt like maybe it was overlapping with some of the other ETFs that I have. So I've decided to leave it for now. I may change my mind, but after I did a bit more research in terms of the companies within that ETF, it kind of seemed like I already had exposure to those companies. So I've kind of left it for now, but it's up £2, so you know, happy days. And then the next one is National Grid. So this was another free share that I got. So this is up about 1.5%, and I actually decided to keep that share because I looked at their cash flow statements, I looked at their balance sheet, and it actually seemed quite decent. So I thought I may as well just leave it there and just see how it performs. Oh, and also their dividend yield, quite decent. And I don't just invest in companies just because of their dividend yield, but this was sort of an added bonus. So I thought, you know what, why not keep it? And then the next one, Shell. Now, you guys will already know, if you did watch my beginner stock portfolio video, then you guys will know that I wasn't particularly happy with Shell. Now, I'm not even gonna lie to you, if I was gonna invest in an individual company, Shell would not have been one of my priorities, okay? And I think I was maybe on -8 or 10%, I'm not really sure, I don't remember. Yeah, I wasn't too happy, but honestly, I decided to just keep it for some reason, and I just left it, and it's now currently up by 30%. So I was surprised at that. I didn't expect that. Now, I don't know whether to just enjoy that profit and just sell it now, or if I should just keep it. So definitely let me know in the comments below what you guys think I should do. Should I keep Shell or should I just get rid of it? Because long term investing in Shell probably isn't for me, but then it is a free share as well, so I don't know whether to just leave it or not. So definitely let me know in the comments. And then we have the SMP UK Dividend Aristocrat, so I bought a few more shares of that and it's currently up by about 8%, so I've got about £148 worth there, so I'm pretty happy with that. That's been doing quite well. And then the next one again is Uber, so I did mention that in my other beginner stock portfolio video, so that went up again, so it's up about 40%, which is happy day. So I think it really started to climb again when we heard about the vaccine, because it meant that maybe investors thought that we'll be going back to normal quite soon, so I actually wasn't surprised that it went up again, to be honest. But yeah, happy days, and I think I'll probably just keep Uber there, to be honest. And then the next one is Unilever, so this was also another free share that I got, and to be honest, Unilever is a company I have been eyeing. I actually really like the company, and just in terms of the fundamentals as well and what it sells, and again looking at their balance sheets, their cash flow statements and all of that, for me it seems like quite a solid mature company. So that is something that I've been eyeing, and I might end up buying some more shares, to be honest. So for me, again, individual companies will definitely be just a small part of my portfolio. I am pretty much an ETF girl, but from time to time I'm happy to just invest in some individual companies which I think are quite strong, and I can sort of take advantage with that. Now in terms of picking individual stocks, I don't want to do a separate video on that yet because I'm pretty much still learning, so I'm definitely still a beginner, and I just think that I just need to do a little bit more research and just get a bit more comfortable learning about individual stocks. So once I have done that, then I'll definitely do a more detailed video on that. But I will give a shout out to two YouTubers who I actually find are really useful when it comes to picking individual stocks. So the first one is Trading with CJ, and then the second one is Jack's Financial. So I'll definitely put those links in the description below. But again, if you are looking to invest in individual stocks, like I said before, I would really be doing my research. But those are two great YouTubers to watch if you are looking to invest in individual stocks. And then the next two, so the FTSE 100, so I've got about 5 shares in that, and it's still currently down year on year, but it's really gone up since I bought it, to be honest. And I remember saying that I actually used it as an opportunity to buy quite a few because I did see that ETF recovering, and yeah, it's currently up about 9%, so I'm really happy that I went in basically when it was slightly low. So compared to last year, it is still slightly down. I think it's about 7% down, but again, that means I'm just going to use it as an opportunity to buy even more, especially when I get paid again, because yeah, I do think that there's still room for growth, and I do believe that the UK will eventually recover. And then the other one is the Vanguard FTSE All World. So again, this is actually the majority of my portfolio, so it's just about 50%. So I've got about 9 shares in there. Obviously it's slightly more expensive, so you can see I've got about 600 odd pounds, or just under 700 pounds there, but it's currently up about 6%, which is great, so about 39 pounds, which is obviously happy days. And again, in terms of my strategy, I'm still quite happy to leave that as 50% as my Vanguard All World, and then everything else can just be like some smaller ETFs and maybe some individual stocks as well. But this is definitely my main investment, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. There's not a lot of reds. It did fluctuate, I would say. I mean, at one point actually I was up about 8%, but then obviously I did buy more shares and then it went slightly down. But in terms of what I've had, I think I'm pretty happy, and especially the free shares that I got. So thank you guys again so much for using my link. So even though they might not be my favorite shares, at least I've been able to use it as an opportunity to sell those shares and then get something that I would actually want to invest in. So yeah, I really can't complain, to be honest. So if you did like this video, then please do give me a thumbs up, as it really does help to support the channel. And let me know in the comments, how do you think I'm doing with my stock portfolio? I do post every Tuesday and Friday, so if you would like to know more, then feel free to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys on Friday.